Yes, you got the Skype backup going.
Skype is a go.
Backup initiated. All right. We need that Voltron sound. It needs to connect the dinotherms. We can do that. What you know about the dinotherms, Paul?
I don't know. All I know is about the Dinobots. I don't know about the. See, I can't keep up with you, man. You know this.
That's Transformers, G. Come on, man.
That's the dinotherms is Transformers.
The dinotherms were connected.
The dinosaurs did not connect. Yo, that was like
dinotherms. That's what Keith used to say when they was forming Voltron. You got to get on that.
Activate interlock. Dinotherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Go Voltron 4.
Step your nerd game up, son.
Man, you know I'm way behind you. Come on now.
Welcome to the Black Delegates podcast. Today's date is March the 25th, 2019. We're on episode double nickel 55. See, no applause, no nothing. Nobody's excited about 55.
Nope. Wait when you get to 69. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be your special episode. We're gonna do a Box Wine Poppy After Dark.
That's right.
We might can do that.
We can do that.
Have some music
business
going for you. Have some music going.
Oh yeah, some Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay. Let's get it on.
Your special playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have Box Wine Mommy on.
I doubt that, but okay.
It's getting interesting. Have to put that on the Patreon. All right.
Too hot for TV.
Of course, we got Box Wine Poppy. What's up, man?
What's up?
And we got Ghetto Phenom. Oh hell no! So was that a cat sound or a Donald Duck?
It sounded like
sure.
It sounded like Donald Duck to me.
The bastard child.
Mixture. Okay, that was sad, man. If we ever make it big, people go listen back to this episode and be like, "What the heck was that sound that Ishmael made on that one episode?"
No,
we are deep in our nerd bag today. That's for sure. But I'm liking it. This is gonna be a good episode. We're all being silly today. I like it.
Okay, so let's just get right into it as usual.
Okay.
So we got this week in blackness. Anybody want to go first? Anybody want to volunteer? Going once, going twice?
I'll go and take it.
All right, Ishmael. He called it.
And rock with it. Yeah, 100%. And y'all know, lately, my This Week in Blackness have been athletic based, I done told y'all, in the basketball league. So as long as I'm in that, that's probably going to be my This Week in Blackness, at least a little portion of it. So this week, same old. Caught a big L. It's no surprise. I told y'all we really not about to rack up W's, but I will tell you about another instance because I told you that one of my goals in coming out of retirement here was I needed to get my over 40 dunk, right?
Okay.
I told you that's really the real reason I'm back. And so I had another opportunity on Sunday. During the game, this wasn't even at the end of the game like last week, it was during the game. It was kind of a fast break. It was like a 2-on-1 fast break. I got the ball out at the three-point line on the left side. Did a little pump fake, even though it was really nobody guarding me, but just to freeze the defense. Then I actually got away with a little baby travel because I was so excited to see the rim just wide open, just the lane wide open. There was one guy across the court, but I could tell he wasn't going to get there in time or he couldn't stop me anyway. So I dribbled the ball. Mm-hmm. I went to the hole on the baseline.
Uh-oh.
I jumped up. I kind of lost my balance when I jumped up.
Oh, God.
And it was an epic failure.
Oh, God.
The ball slipped out of my hand as I'm jumping up because I lost balance. And this is something that I've noticed as I've gotten older. And you know, you've seen people go up for a dunk and they're not really high enough, so they just turn it over and lay it up. I couldn't even do that because when I jumped, I was so off balance that I just kind of slipped and the ball just flew up and it was like an air ball and the defender got it and drove down the court. So very embarrassing moment. It's dunk attempt number 2 in this league. This one was an epic failure. Ended up as a turnover, but nonetheless, I'm still out there trying. So we're going to give it a third go. I'm not going to be able to play this week. Why, Ryan? Church anniversary.
You got hurt? Oh, okay.
Everybody got church anniversaries. Everybody church started this
every year. Every year.
And my wife is the chair of this one, so I can't skip
even
it.
Worse, you can't even skip it. Yep.
Yeah, so that's about the same time as the game, so I'm going to miss this next game. But I should have 2 games left after that to get in that.
Now hold on, Ish. Now
Mac.
at what point do you become? At one point of these attempts, do you become the old man who keeps saying he can dunk but can't dunk anymore?
I'm surpassed it. I've already passed that. I am that person.
Okay.
Absolutely.
As long as you recognize that you are that dude now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Especially like I said, last week's attempt, I was up there. I just missed it, and one of my teammates even like, well, last week, you were right up there. This week, it was just an uncoordinated dude. What the heck is he even thinking?
We're going to fast forward 2 more weeks, and it's going to be like a Sean Livingston, Paul George situation right there underneath the backboard.
No, it's not going to be that.
Don't say that.
Don't
say that.
want to happen. Be careful.
Man,
just be careful, brother. Just be careful.
Not going to go there. So
okay.
we're going to give it another chance. But, it was pretty embarrassing.
So at what point do they just clear out the lane and let you dunk like a special needs kid?
Exactly.
And just let you keep trying.
They
just keep passing you the ball, and the crowd just keeps saying, Fina,
right.
Fina, until you can
maybe
do
that's what I need, man. I need some of that. I need some of the listeners. I need y'all to send me some comments to encourage me to get that dunk on. Y'all saw the video. Y'all know I can get up there, but the last 2 weeks it just ain't worked out. And both of these have been wide open attempts essentially, so it's not even like a defender threw me off. I just didn't get it done.
What's the age of the folks playing in this league?
Most of the people in the league, like on my team,
Rudies out there? You got some
on my
Rudies out
team,
there?
everybody is, I think 29 is the next oldest person. In the league as a whole, I say mostly 20s and 30s. I'm probably definitely the oldest. Well, maybe not. There may be a couple of 40-year-old and above guys out there, but there's not many. It's a young man's basketball league. And overall, I think I'm playing pretty well, but just the hops just don't want to work with me.
So is there a 40 and over league in St. Louis where I can start back training and say when I turn 40 I can join said league? Because if we hooping with all old people, I can come out of retirement.
I've been looking for one. I've heard that there is one.
They exist.
I don't know if it just runs in a certain season. So I haven't seen one, but I've heard about them.
The old head league.
Rudy.
I like this.
You got to ask Rudy.
Right.
Rudy was 65 years old, still out there hooping with us, but he said he was in an old league. Like it was like a 40 and over league.
Right, yeah.
And he apparently was giving the old men buckets, which we know Rudy can do from time to time.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Rudy.
I got to see the old man league. Just out there in some old sweats with every imaginable form of protective gear on their bodies that they can find. Ankles.
Hey, Rudy had the cock back behind the head jumper, but if he was open, sometimes it was money. He'd get on the street.
Oh, yeah. He'll hit it if he open. You just with Rudy, you just couldn't lead him with the ball. You know how if guys are on the break, you throw it in front of them so they can go get it. None of that with Rudy. You had to throw it almost behind him. If you threw it behind him, then while he's running forward, it'll eventually catch up to him.
Whenever y'all saying Rudy, I'm picturing the dude from the Notre Dame movie. That's all I'm picturing. So
no, not him. It was an old black man, gray hair.
Yep,
you know, Rudy was pretty buff though. He worked out, man.
Rudy was strong. Rudy always guarded me in the post, man. He had a good. He had quick hands.
Yeah,
so
just imagine Bill Cartwright. Just imagine Bill Cartwright, how he used to shoot.
Ooh.
That's how Rudy was, but that's how he would shoot jumpers like that, all the way behind his head and throw it up kind of to the side. It was like Bill Cartwright and Lonzo Ball mixed together. That's his jump shot.
Oh, we got smoke for that later on. We'll skip that for now, but we'll come back to it.
Yeah, I know Rudy got tired of guarding me at some point, but none of the younger dudes wanted to, so it was boring.
Yep. So what about you, Paul? What's your weekend blackness?
Yeah,
weekend
brownness, man. So like, so box wine. We took a little vacation this week. Went out with some coworkers out to Vegas. To just have a little fun, relax. It was like kind of a last minute trip. Some dudes at work. There's one dude in particular, like he was like, "Hey, I'm going to Vegas." I talk to him all the time. He's a big college basketball fan. I'm a big college basketball fan. I know Ryan's not much of a college basketball fan. I guess you're kind of in the middle somewhere. I'm imagining, right? Or you?
Oh yeah, I rock with college basketball.
Yeah, I rock with college basketball.
Mizzou, shout out to Mizzou.
Yeah.
Mizzou women went to the NCAA's, and the SLU men both went. They both out now, but shout out to them. Anyway.
Yeah, man, it's good. I know the level of basketball is not like the NBA. It's nowhere close. But man, them dudes be trying, and the fun part is that you just could see so much off the wall stuff. 30-point comebacks. Number one seeds just barely making it, squeaking by against some team they got no business hanging with.
Shout out to Duke.
Shout out to Duke. Yeah, talk against you, Duke. But anyway, so dude at work was like, hey, a few of us going out, so invited me. Last minute trip, made it out there. I've been to Vegas like one other time, but I never really did it big before. I was out there for work. I didn't do too much, so I went out there this time, man. It was like just a bunch of married dudes hanging out, but we having a good time, drinking, and just watching the games, man. Just watching the games and trying to play a little, do a little gambling here and there. I know Ryan thinks that as soon as he goes and lays $5 down, he's gonna go straight to hell for that, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But I also found out that I have zero business playing any card games. I am definitely I got good at blackjack back in the day for a little while, and I remember winning like a little bit of money, like maybe $100 here. I play at the $5 tables. But I remember winning like $100, maybe $200 in a night. But I got out of it pretty quick because I did see like, hey, I'm playing this for too long. I'm out here for like 3-4 hours. Getting home at like 4 a.m. I can't be doing that, right? It's money.
That sounds like an addiction.
I didn't do it long, man. I'm talking about like maybe over 3 or 4 times. But I did kind of at a point kind of like, hey, I kind of like going down there, check it out. It's something different. You just go down there and you just kind of people watching and stuff like that. But anyway, I went down there this weekend to Vegas, and I thought I was doing something. I cannot play blackjack, and somebody was trying, and every time I go down there, somebody's trying to explain some other game to me, like somebody's trying to play craps, explain craps to me. I will never. You could, Ish. I don't know if you know how to play the craps or roulette, but if you do, you could spend 4 years teaching me roulette and craps, and I'm never gonna understand all the stuff that's going on that table. It's way too confusing. But anyway, I stuck to blackjack. Man, I got my ass handed to me, dog. Like I went up there like first day, dropped 100. Man, I was wiped out like in maybe 30 minutes. I was like, okay, well, it's just fun to play, whatever. Next day, I'm like, okay, we can go to this other casino. It's a little cheaper over here. My money's gonna last a little longer. I might lose, but I'm gonna have some fun. Go over there, man. This dealer wiped me out wiped me and my homie out in like 10 minutes. Both of us, we were out $100 like in 10 minutes. And the dude taunting us the whole time. The dealer just taunting us. He like sitting there laughing. He playing with the cards. He like, oh, let me take your card and swap it out with mine. Man, look, every single time he dealt me, I had like a 12, 13, 14. Which if anybody plays blackjack, that's death.
You got a hit.
All right.
You get hit, yeah, but you're gonna bust. So anyway, so almost every single time that dealer had 18, 19, 20, 21. Man, it was laughable. Anyway, he wiped me out. I even got to the point we were playing virtual blackjack on like a machine. So you're talking like a machine dealer, and they're and you're sitting there, and it still kicked my butt. And that's when I sent y'all the picture of me with the 40-cent voucher, because I put in $40, ended up with 40 cents, man. So that's how that went. But anyway, man, that's it. Just gamble a little bit.
Hold on. You're not gonna talk about the bar with the massages?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. You want to talk about that? We can talk about that. I mean,
we can talk about that.
It's Vegas, man. You see different stuff, man. So we were at I didn't stay at the Mandalay Bay, but we stayed at Mandalay Bay, and that's where we kind of hung out, watched the games at. It's pretty chill. It's mostly older white dudes in there, man. It's not no big deal. I mean, it's kind of interesting in Vegas. You probably been there before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, so you know how it is. It's like each casino's kind of got its own vibe, like its own clientele. It's kind of thing. Like if you go to the Cosmopolitan, that's where all the trendy stuff's going on at. That's where the really high society people are seeming to hang out, or the wannabes are hanging out there. And then you got like the Excalibur, which is kind of like low budget, and then Mandalay Bay is kind of middle. But if you remember, Ryan, Mandalay Bay was where that shooter was at a few months back. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was in the Mandalay Bay. So that's where we were hanging out at, down in the lobby of this. And so like we're just sitting there watching the games, and like they had a bunch of different areas to set up to watch the games. The dudes just hanging out, and just folks are smoking. I don't smoke or anything. Like none of the people I was with smoking, but there were people around us smoking them cigars, man. Oh man, it just if you don't like being around cigar smoke, don't hang out in a casino in Vegas, because you're gonna smell some smoke. That's for sure. But we just chilling watching the game, and then we noticed like there's these ladies kind of walking around the area. They're offering, and they got this like little pad in front of their hands, and they're offering like dudes massages. Like we were at the blackjack table the first day, and we seen like a dude just kind of getting his ear rubbed down, like real rubbed. And I'm like,
getting the ear rubbed down is crazy.
Like she was rubbing like the back of his ear, like while this dude's playing. He's playing blackjack at like, I don't know, it was like maybe a $25 table at that time, at that point in the day. And this girl's just rubbing his ear. But I looked over there, I was like, oh, okay, I see that. But I'm like, okay, well, that must just be like his girlfriend or something like that. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Then I noticed like another dude getting a rub down, like kind of like on his shoulders, on another blackjack table, like, maybe a couple hours later. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess they must be giving massages out here. So I put that 2 and 2 together pretty quick. Anyway, fast forward to, we sitting there watching the game. There's another like table in front of us with like 5 or 6, dudes, like frat dudes, kind of fratty, old, 30-year-old frat kind of looking dudes. But they ain't bothering nobody. They're just chilling. And then the massage girl, big old, can I say big booty? I'm allowed to say big booty?
You say that.
Big booty massage girl comes walking up. She comes sauntering up, and she starts asking everybody in this area if they would like a massage. And I'm like, I'm not doing a damn thing, because I'm just sitting here babysitting one beer, because I only had 2 beers. It's like, Ron, you think I'm alcoholic? I only had 2 beers the whole time I was down there. I had 2 beers and 3 glasses of wine. That's all I had. I don't go crazy. I don't drink like that. So I'm just in there babysitting one beer.
How big was a cup, though? That's the question.
Oh, no, this is just a regular.
One of them tall joints. One of them tall joints on Beale Street.
Ain't no
bro, that ain't just two.
No call
the 428 fluid ounce cup.
None of that, man. But she comes up, and so this dude right in front of us, he's literally like maybe like he's sitting so close to me, I could reach out and like touch his back if I wanted to. Didn't do that, pause, but so this dude, like, he's like, she's asking everybody. We were all like, no, we're cool. And then this other dude in the table in front of us, he's like, oh yeah, I'll take that massage. And he just starts to get the massage like right in front of his boys. Like, it's not like it's not like a big table. It's like small kind of tables, like, I don't know, maybe like 4 feet around in a circle. And there's like 4, 5, 6 dudes around that one table, and then we're behind him maybe like 4 or 5 feet, and it's like 4 of us around another small table. And this dude just laid over the table. Laid over the chair, his own chair. He turned around backwards in his chair, laid down, and this girl just went to work on him for like a good 10, 15 minutes, all down his back, massaging back. And I'm like, well, what is going on now? She had a big booty, so she's standing right in front of us, just massage. So I'm laughing because she's right in front of us. But I'm like, is that a technical foul is that a man code violation to get a massage right there in front of your boys like that?
That'd be a man code violation.
No.
Is that a man code violation? So? That's what I don't know. I mean, like, if you hang out with your boy, if us 3 are hanging out, if we go to Vegas one day, which we're gonna do, because I'm gonna speak this into existence, because Ryan's coming, and I get a massage right beside you, are y'all gonna say anything funny about me?
Oh, probably, but it's not a
Really?
violation. I mean, we're gonna make fun of you regardless if you get.
Well, that's true too.
Right, if you get some cream corn or something, we're gonna make fun of you. But
if I get the Robert Kraft special, y'all make fun of me.
Well, that's different.
Right in front of y'all.
That's the question.
That's different.
Have
Mr.
you
Kraft.
been named in any indictments? That's
No indictments. No indictments.
I'm gonna say no, because honestly, I think it's kind of baller to just be getting a massage in random places for no reason.
I guess
and
so.
I don't really
man,
know how you ask for an ear massage, because that's weird.
It's weird, but I'm like you ain't doing, man. You literally just sitting here drinking free beer and playing cards and just like I understand, like, if you just left the gym, but these dudes ain't doing nothing. And you just
Yo,
sit here
I would
watching
like
basketball.
But I would like nothing more than watch basketball and get a massage.
Right.
This is like every man's dream. What is the problem?
Right.
I have no problem with this.
Yeah, if you were out there just getting a pedicure in the open, if it was
Right.
women going around, they filing your toenails, then maybe, maybe there's a little questioning on my behalf, or I'm going to make fun of you a little bit more in that situation. But getting a massage while you're either playing blackjack or you're watching a basketball game, that just sounds like a little piece of heaven.
Yeah, well, I could have used a massage while I was quickly losing that $200 I lost real quick. But,
were they paying for these massages, or you just tipped
they were not, man. Look, man. Hey, Ryan. First thing first. Nothing in Vegas is free. Everything.
Right.
There's a cost. I think she said $20 for like 15 minutes, something like that. So I'm sure he tipped her or something like that.
That's
so
on par.
Probably $25 for a few minutes of massage or whatever like that. But
I would not tip you if I'm paying $20 15 minutes.
Man, you got to tip on everything.
I just paid your market rate.
Dog, you supposed to tip the dealer that's taking your money, literally taking your money.
Stop it.
You do.
No, you shouldn't.
Phenom, tell us, man.
I'm just saying you shouldn't.
Phenom, tell us, man.
I tend to side more with Ryan on that one. Now, if I get a big, if I
win
a big hand or I get,
that's different.
Some nice bread, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, keep that.
That's what I mean. But you're supposed to do that. You should do that.
It's definitely expected.
Yeah.
But just don't expect it from me, player. Unless I'm winning big, I'm not doling out that bread. You making enough money here. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to come out ahead. So
right. I'm just gonna pull my STL hat down tighter and walk away.
but just to wrap all this up, Vegas. I mean, it's not my city, man. But it's cool for 2 days if you hang out with some fellas. And people, people always think like, oh, you going to Vegas, you're gonna get crazy. Man, like, is there crazy stuff in Vegas? I'm sure there is. But like, if you ain't looking for trouble, ain't looking for nothing nefarious, you're good to go, man. Like, as soon as you get out the airport and you get in the cab line, like literally every single cab in Vegas has a sign on top of the cab that says like marijuana superstore, marijuana dispensary, largest in the world, something like that. I mean, literally every single cab that was out there, it was like that. And you get there, and there's all the showgirl things. There's you walking up and down the strip. There's like, there's probably like some illegal aliens that are walking around, standing there. They probably don't even know what the shirt says, but they're wearing a shirt that says have naked girls sent to your room. That's what the shirt says, and they just hand out these little flyers to you.
Really?
100. I'm 100. And these dudes just got like have girls to your room. That's what their shirt. And they just stand out there on the street and they just hand you a card. Like anybody that passed by, cops, whoever. I guess they just hand them out. They probably don't even know what. And I'm just in there laughing. I was like, because my boy, we're talking to each other and we're like, okay, if you call that number, that means that the cops are probably just going to come to your house, come to your apartment, your hotel, and beat you up. Like, are you an idiot?
It's legal. It's legal in Nevada, though. I think you just got to be certain.
It's not legal.
It's not legal.
It's like I think it's way out in the boonies or something like that. It's not legal in the city officially. So it may be tolerated, but it's not legal. But so all that stuff.
So the real question is, did you memorize the number, or did you have to look at it to dial it each time? That's what the people really want to know.
We have a smartphone nowadays, so you just take the picture, and then that way you remember the number because it's right there.
You go.
So that's what I did. But anyway, man, it's not my city. It's cool, but we got to definitely plan a trip. I need Ryan to get out of St. Louis, come out there, have a little fun. You don't have to gamble much, but just come watch some trash basketball and just hang with the fellas.
If you can promise that we can either go to NBA Summer League, I'm down, or Cirque Soleil, the underwater show, I'm down. Because Cirque Soleil is the greatest show on earth.
Hey, real talk, I'm down with any of the Cirque du Soleil, man. Like the Beatles, the Michael Jackson, they got it all there. I'm down. I don't really.
Well, that Michael Jackson might not work out these days.
My thing is, I don't want to really go. Like, I liked it when we went there. Like, when we went there this weekend, it was like 71 degrees, so you could walk outside. It's cool, man. Miss me with Las Vegas in the summer. I've been out there before when it's like 125 degrees. No, I don't want to be out there, man. That's cool.
Ish, have you ever seen Cirque du Soleil? You ever went to one?
Not live, not in person. Nope.
Yeah, you gotta peep them.
I have seen Cirque du Soleil. I saw the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil, and I think I saw another one. I can't remember. It was like a water one or something like that. But it was all the traveling companies. But in Vegas, they got shows. I definitely want to see some shows, man. Shoot, whatever. Celine Dion, I'm down for it. Let's go.
All right. Okay.
What about you, Ryan?
Due to the lateness of the hour, I'm gonna keep mine short.
Thank God.
This week in Blackness, of course, like Ishmael said, he got a church anniversary coming up. I had a church anniversary this week, so we know how them church anniversaries go, man. It's I had to swing down to the uncle's church. My pastor was speaking, preaching, so we couldn't skip out on this one. So I was forced to go by the Spirit. So rolled down there, and I told the kids beforehand. I'm like, hey, I know y'all hungry, but look, we are not eating. We are not staying. As soon as this is done, we out the door. So do not get in the line. Do not ask anybody for anything. Don't say you thirsty. I just got y'all a bottle of water. You cool. So we can walk right out the door. So right when it was done, they was like, all right, guests, y'all can line up first. I look over, Trenton and Avery ran and got in the line.
Of course.
I'm like, what did I just tell y'all? No. And they said, well, can we get a piece of cake? Can we get a piece of pie? No, we're leaving. Let's go. Because, if you leaving a black function, you got to talk to about 3-4 people on the way out the door. So it's not like you can leave when you say you're going to leave. So if you're a lot for that time, it's another 30, 35 minutes before you can actually get to your car. And then somebody might stop you at the car to talk to. So I had to take all that into account, man. So it was rough, but we got up out of there, man. So, praise be. We made it.
Po chillins. No cake, no pie for the babies.
Hey, you feed you when you get home, but we need to be at home so I can sit down and relax. Been up too long. But other than that, what was that? Saturday, hoop with Trenton in the backyard. Went outside because I told them, hey, y'all kids need to get outside. I'm sick of y'all watching these tablets and talking about playing video games. So make you go outside. Of course, they're like, well, we got to go outside. These kids so soft, man. Like, go outside. It's a fun place. Use what's called an imagination. It is a fun place, man. They have no idea. When was the last time you heard kids outside playing?
It's just a different time now.
I don't see kids outside ever of no age. If I do see a kid outside, they walking the dog and they going right back in the house.
Mm. But I see kids outside over here.
I don't.
Either riding bikes.
That's because they're scared of you, Ryan. They see Ryan around the street. They be like, "Oh, that's that mean daddy. Let's get out of here."
Right.
Whatever. So took Trenton outside, and I told him, I was like, why don't you, I said, let's play basketball. And I meant I was going to play with him. And he's like, oh, I don't want to play basketball. And I was like, oh, fine, man. I was like, well, then here y'all can play in the dirt. Y'all can dig a hole, whatever they be doing. They always like digging in the dirt, and I'm cool with that. But then he was like, I'll play basketball if you play with me. And I was like, oh, that's what I meant. So got the ball out, aired it up, check ball. Ran a couple games. It was cool up until the point where Trenton looks at me and he says, Daddy, you old now, and I'm getting better.
He can take. He talking.
I was
smack.
like, what? I was like, what? So I don't know what happened to me, Ish. I had a flashback. I blacked out. I blacked out for about 5 seconds, man, and all of a sudden, I was angry. And I was determined. And I was just like, look, I'm not giving you anything for at least the next 4 possessions. So I did. I immediately crossed him over, dunked it, and then I said, who old? Check ball. And I rolled the ball to him, and he's like, what?
You see what I'm saying? Is the sports dad right here. This dude backing down his kid in the paint.
Now, here's the real question, though, is so what was the move that Trenton did on you that gave him such confidence? Like, did he cross you up and your ankle kind of give a little bit? Did you get a little wobbly, a little woozy? Like, what did he do that made him feel like, Daddy can't guard me? Because it had to be something.
It was really on defense. He was playing D. And I told him that, I try to encourage the boy. I don't want him to think he's not playing good defense because he is. He's sliding his feet. He got his hands up. I'm like, exactly. You sitting down. This is how I want you to do it. This is how you do it. So I was trying to encourage him by letting him get his hand on the ball. Now, I still got handles. I still got enough handles to keep it from a 5-year-old. Come on.
Seriously.
No, 5-year-olds be quick, man.
They are quick, but that's how I trained to get my handles in the first place.
Against 5-year-olds,
my brother running around and me playing with him. Yes, that's how you get your handles up. So y'all can take that one. That's for free. So I let him. He tapped the ball out of bounds, and he thought he was good because he knocked the ball out of bounds. And I was like, oh, okay, then let's play for real. So hoop was on like 8 feet, so I was just like, I'm gonna dunk this mug. I ain't playing around with you no more.
I think it was on 7 feet. If you was dunking, it was 7 feet, not 8.
That sounds about right.
It was.
Ryan was like Taco Fall out there.
I ain't measured. It might have been 7. I don't know. I think that wouldn't go up to 8 though.
Ryan, you were like that UCF dude, just in there, just barely, just lifting your feet up like 1 inch off the ground and dunking the ball. That's what you were doing.
I don't think I could dunk it like that, but yeah, man. So it was a couple. So like for 4 possessions, I was playing for real and shooting for real, and then I hit a couple as long as shots that we could hit in this little backyard. But I was like, yeah, call me Daddy Curry from now
on. Daddy Curry.
Daddy Curry. Yeah, you definitely that sports dude. You definitely that sports dude.
Hey man, you want to encourage your kids, but they can't be out here disrespecting you. So don't ever tell me I'm getting old. And he's like, well, Daddy, you are older. And I was like, yeah, that's right.
So now young Trenton's going to be out there practicing whenever you at work or, when you in the basement chilling, he going to be working on his game. So I'm going to give him until, say, 5 now. I'm going to give him to about 7.5.
7.5.
He's going to get that first victory. He's going to earned victory.
He's going to drop the Sham God crossover on you. And,
right.
And just ankle it. Like Ryan going to be in ICU for 3 weeks. His ankle's going to be...
Nah, I'll be all right.
4 pieces.
I'll be all right probably until he maybe 11. And then once he get 11, then we go post game. So you still won't be able to beat me till you 13. So I got a plan. It's going to work.
Well, hey, good luck to you, man. Trent, hang in there, man. You can take this, man. Don't be scared of him. Back him down. You can do it. We got you.
Right.
All right, get into these stories.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
Ishmael, this first one is yours. Why don't you go ahead and give us the rundown?
Oh, so on this one, matter of fact, we're just talking about young Trenton. We know that he loves the YouTube, and who knows, he may even watch this particular show. I'll try to keep it brief here, but there's a mom on a popular YouTube show, and she is accused of, this is called The Fantastic Adventures. It's racked up more than 250 million views, and the mother who is kind of in charge of the channel, she's accused of pepper spraying her kids. And she is, I think, whooping the kids. Whenever they get out of line, if they don't do something right, then the mother goes into whooping, pepper spraying, whatever it takes to let them know this needs to be perfect. We trying to get this YouTube money here. So that's really all I'll say right now. I don't know if you all got a chance to read this story or what do you think about it, because you know that, again, YouTube is something real big for kids nowadays. You got so many channels where they opening up the toys or they got the whole family doing stuff for the kids. But what do you think about this lady just going to that level to where she's disciplining the kids terribly if they do something wrong?
Man, I spend my time watching the kids watch a lot of stupid YouTube shows. And I constantly say that these kids are not into this the way their parents are into this. Because some of them, their parents, they're all on the screen. They really acting hard. And the kids, they kind of like, you could tell that they just been rehearsing. I don't like that. If your kid ain't funny on their own, just talking, you got to let that go, man. Just keep it genuine. So, no, of course, I'm never with anybody abusing any kids. I saw in this story that she also was, these are her adopted kids, right? And then on top of that,
foster kids or something like that.
And on top of that, she's accused of 2 counts of molestation with the children. Right. So, man, it's a very sad situation. It's a lot of crazy people out here. We hear too many stories about foster parents that aren't good parents, and I don't understand what the background, how they do the background checks for them. But yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Man, look, man. You know how I feel about all this stuff, man. Throw these people up under the jail. No, don't even throw them under jail, man. Just go. You go straight to the electric chair. I'm cool with all that, man. I don't need no trial, nothing like that. If you've done this to multiple kids under your care, especially these kids, foster kids, they already been traumatized in their lives, and you doing this, man. Go ahead, just go ahead and pepper spray them to death. I'll be fine with that, man.
How did they find out? Like, did she spray them like live? Were they live?
I have no clue, man. Welfare. It sounds some kind of welfare check. I'm sure that maybe somebody in the family was snitching. It sounded like she got a ton of kids with all these different people that she's adopting. So somebody probably just had enough and probably spoke up, said something to a teacher or something like that.
What they said during the welfare check, one of the kids was like found in an unlocked closet, but they said the closet, even though it wasn't locked at the time, it had like a locking mechanism on it. And so the kid was just in there basically in a diaper in this closet. They say looked malnourished. And so I think that kind of set the alarm bells off to like, well, why is there a lock on this closet? Why is this kid just sitting up in here? So then when they started interviewing the kids, of course, told what happened. One said he got beat with a hanger or a belt or a brush or he got pepper sprayed. They talked about, and I don't know if this is why she got charged with the sexual assault or whatever.
Oh, yes.
They said the mother would pinch the child's business, areas, if he act out of line, or they pepper sprayed the girl's business. If she got out of line, so clearly this is just a sick lady.
Man.
But yeah, Ryan,
like my
you said,
whole
a lot
thing
of
is
times,
like okay, I got YouTube Premium and all that stuff like that. My kid he doesn't watch no shows like this. He just watches cartoons. But like the people that are on these shows, I know there's money to be made by some of this stuff. But I personally just think people gotta have a screw loose to be on the shows. I mean, I get the Kardashians and all that stuff like that. I get that stuff, but like if you're just on YouTube and obviously this family was making probably was making money eventually, because what it said 800,000 viewers, something like that, 250 million views total. So eventually they were, but
subscribers. So.
Yeah, but starting off slow, I mean, sure, must have took them a couple years to get to that point. But what I just can't see. I can never picture my family ever doing that. Like, hey, we're gonna start a YouTube channel. We're gonna try to get this thing to grow. So when a family does that, like that tells me, okay, this family is just a little bit off. Maybe not this far off, but
man, sometimes it's just like your kids are doing funny stuff anyway. Let's videotape it and put it on YouTube. Like that's kind of
I get like, okay, like hey, my kid does something funny, I'm gonna put that on there. I'm talking about like where they're doing like an entire like series or Facebook Live, constant updates. Like there's some celebrity or something like that.
But the thing is, what you had to realize is that kids today, that's what they grow up with.
Yeah, right.
They're not caring about cable. They're not caring about what's on regular TV. They're looking at Netflix and they're looking at YouTube. Matter of fact, at work today, one of my coworkers, kids came up at the end of the day, and she was saying like how she wanted to start a YouTube page and she wanted to do this. And I think she's maybe 10, 11 years old, the child. And that's like, she was excited about that. Like, oh, I need to start a YouTube page and let's do this and let's do that, because that's what kids know. And it's easy enough now. I mean, when we were kids, I'm sure we all wanted to be on TV, but there was a certain level that you had to get to in order to do that. It wasn't like you could just have a camera at home. Like you had to go to a whole studio or this or that. Yeah. Now, the floor is so low that all you need is a phone.
Or even if you did, you couldn't get your videos out for anybody to see it outside of your relatives.
Right.
That came to your house to watch it.
Right.
So now you can instantly go all over the world. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's why. So I don't think it's weird that the families are doing it. I just think, especially in this case, I mean, this is just a sick lady who's sitting up here abusing these kids and trying to use them to enrich. And last thing I'll say, with YouTube, one thing you do have to remember is if people are doing this like full time like that, like that's a job. So it is important to ask the question, if we got kids involved, like how much work are these kids doing for this channel?
A lot, man. A lot.
The other thing that's short about the story is like, so this lady, okay, she went, got arrested, blah blah. Her bond, how much do you think her bond was?
This white lady, so probably
Right.
$15.
What do you think, Ryan? You got an amount, Ryan? You think it's about right?
I'm gonna say $10,000.
$200,000 bond, which we know, okay, you got to pay 10% of that. But listen,
okay,
what this,
that's good.
No, okay, but listen what this lady is accused of. All this heinous stuff, multiple kids, and heinous child abuse. The lady from last week, the lady from Full House, she got $1 million bond.
You know how the bonds are.
But still, man, like that makes no sense. Like, how can a lady that literally did nothing to her kid, and all she did was she tried to get her kid into a good college so she could drink and hang out with rich people all day, and that's $1 million bond. This lady beating kids, damaging them psychologically, maybe for the rest of their lives, $200,000. That's insane, man. We just got to get rid of this whole system, man. It's flawed.
Well, the thing that's even worse than that is that her two sons, adult sons, they were arrested as well because they were a part of it, and they just got released on their own recognizance, so they didn't even have a bond. Now, maybe they didn't do as heinous acts as she did, but if you're a part of that and you're watching these kids get pepper sprayed and you're watching them get beat and this and that, and you're participating in that, the fact that you just got let out, like, say you're sorry and we're going to let you go.
I don't know, adults. Looks like adult sons, but they probably been indoctrinated. They probably got the same beatings when they were kids. You know what I'm saying?
What's that got to do with anything? This name is right.
They know better, but it's a cycle, man. It's a cycle. I'm not saying it's right. It's just I can see it. It's a cycle that they grew up like this.
Your mama, your mama crazy, and your mama tell you to do something, you gonna do it. I mean, right now, your mama tell you to do something, you be like, okay, it just is what it is, man. They always your mother.
And that's how it goes, man.
Crazy.
That's how it goes, man.
Right.
Crazy.
All right.
Let's get off this sick topic. We got some funny topics coming up.
We got a good one in a little bit.
Yeah. And we talked about the kids whose parents, we talked about Full House. What was her name? Rebecca on the show.
Aunt Becky was trying
to get her child in the USC or whatever, UCLA, whatever school it was. Then I saw this story today on CNN that Dr. Dre, we know the infamous Dr. Dre. Yep, he says that he was on the internet flossing. He was out there flossing. That his daughter got into USC on her own, and he's like, no jail time. So they decided that some people said, hey, let's look into it. And they realized that back in, 2013, that Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine had donated some, was it 30,000? No, 30 million? It's something ridiculous. $30 million? 70 million?
I thought it was like 17 million.
Let me scan through it again, sorry.
Here.
70 million.
Oh.
$70 million donation to USC. But his daughter got in on her own. Hey, what y'all think about that story? And Dr. Dre, he did delete his post on social media after that information came out. But what do you think?
It's what I've been saying, man. Look, man. It's no, to me, I don't view this as no different. It's just all shades of gray. And this is slightly more gray than what the Full House lady did. Okay, so that chick spent $500,000 to get her kid on some rowing team, some fake rowing team, and then get her kid into USC. Dr. Dre didn't do any of that stuff, but he just pays $70 million because he got bread like that. Obviously the Full House lady does not have $70 million, which thank God she does not. But you donate $70 million and your kid you can afford to send your kid to the best schools and do all the great things and really pump up their resume. You get into whatever school you want to, man. So it's just a game, man. It's all a game.
Well, what role did the $70 million play in her getting into the school though, Ishmael?
I mean, who knows? She may have very well made it on her own merits, but it's just a situation where Dre he doesn't really have that self-awareness. because I'm sure he forgot all about the $70 million. I'm sure he gave them the
He
$70
forgot
million.
about it.
That's a flex.
He
right there.
forgot about it.
Forgot about the 70.
Oh dang! I forgot I gave him seven
Right.
million.
Hey, I believe he probably, because didn't they start like a music school or something like that?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, it was like, Academy of Arts, Technology, and Business
Yeah.
Innovation. So I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt, and let's say he gave the money to the school because he really wanted to help develop the arts. But it's like we're in this society where we see somebody fall on TV, and now we want to shoot our little shots at them. We want to troll them. So this was his way of trolling, and then they like, wait, bruh, like, but you just gave them $70 million, which is even, like Paul was saying, that's even worse. We're not talking about 50,000, 500,000, or even 1 million. $70 million, bro. Like, seriously. So it's just something that backfired
after
on.
he gave that 70 million, anybody with his last name was getting looked at very closely for admittance. Like, is your last name Young? Oh yeah. You definitely on the list.
Where MC Ren's kids were getting in off that $70 million.
Heck yeah.
Exactly.
But man,
Is your favorite rapper Dr. Dre? Okay then.
but that's how this thing's all gone along. It's been like this for a generation. It'll never change. But it's just it's the income inequality in this country, and even if Dre didn't give $70 million, man, he's got the money to put his daughter into the best schools and just give her all the opportunities that are going to make her look more attractive to USC versus a kid that goes to just a regular inner city school and doesn't have these opportunities. So. And that's how the game is played, man. So it's not even. That's how it's always going to be, unfortunately.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, that was a quick one. Moving on. Next topic. Papa Shacks. Papa Shacks. Ishmael, this is your story.
Yeah. So, that Papa John's. We kind of been laying off Papa John's. Kind of been some people been doing a public boycott. Some people been doing a silent boycott. Some people still been going to eating them, of course, because you say what?
I've been eating Papa John's.
You've been eating Papa John's? That's
of
a
late,
shame.
yes.
That is
now.
very disturbing.
Once he got rid of once they got rid of the dude, it's all on, man.
Oh,
eat what you want.
I thought you said that you weren't going to eat it because he was still profiting off of them. I remember you saying
Yeah, I
those
didn't
words.
for a while, and then I heard people talking about it, and he was saying that was what's his name, Rod from Black Guy Who Tips. He made a good point, and I wanted some Papa John's pizza. he said they made the man step down. What else do you want from him? Why would you boycott then the company who has other employees and people that are working, et cetera, that this affects them for him being stupid? They got rid of him, so what else do you want from them? And I get that. And I agree with that. So I immediately went home and ordered some Papa John's pizza.
Immediately.
And it was fire.
Well, the answer to his question.
They probably took care of you. They're like, can we help you, Mr. Willis? I'm sorry.
It's been a long time. We've been waiting for this phone call.
Yep.
Now, what the people wanted from Papa John's is they wanted to see Shaq, the big pepperoni, Shaquille O'Neal. They wanted to see him as the new
boss.
Papa John's spokesperson. Because it was named that Shaq now will be the spokesperson for Papa John's, replacing John Shatner. He also was given a spot on their board of directors. So it's not just like they gave Shaq a couple million to do this and bring the black dollars back. They also actually put him on the board of directors. So, Ryan, we know that you back all in on Papa John's. Paul, I don't know if you eat Papa John's or not, but do you think that that's a good look for them to bring Shaq on board? And does that atone for the sins of John Shatner?
You asking me first?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Okay, so look,
Ryan just said Ryan eating Papa John's right now.
Ryan's already all right. Look, man. Do we know that Shaq? We don't have any video of Shaq saying the N-word, because I'm pretty sure we have a video of Shaq saying the N-word somewhere out there in this world. So.
He's black. It doesn't
I have
matter.
license to.
No, man, it's cool, man. I'm with you. It's probably past time. I literally have not had Papa John's since then. And I remember when this happened, I was like, oh, I'm done with Papa John's. Add to the fact that Papa John's is a supporter of the University of Louisville, the worst university in the world, and my most hated rival. So I can never support that when I really found that out, that they, how insidious the relationship was between the despicable University of Louisville and Papa John's. So that was dead for me. They bring Shaq in. They're trying to do all the PR, man. They've been trying to. If you've seen the Papa John's commercials, it's like, please give us a chance. We love Negroes. We love brown people. Every time you watch a commercial, that's basically what they're saying. We hire black and brown people.
Yeah, we at Papa John's are diverse, and they show all the managers.
The Papa John's dude definitely wants to tell you he got it on with the Popeyes chick a couple of times. He definitely trying to tell you we got black friends. That's what Papa John's every commercial is trying to tell you. And this is basically the pinnacle of it by hiring Shaq to be the new Papa Shaq. It's basically like, hey, we got black friends, we got black CEOs. Let's just hire Shaq. But I don't want to hear Shaq do the commercials, man. Shaq. First of all, Shaq pitches anything, man. If Shaq out there with the general,
you paying him, the general.
Man,
that was the worst commercial
Shaq
ever.
doing some trash commercials.
He was doing Carnival cruises the other day.
Man, Shaq will literally sell anything. He don't care, man. With this bat, they got
Icy hot.
So I'm not really like looking for the Shaq stamp of approval. Like,
yeah, he was doing Buicks. He brought Buick back.
No, he did not. He didn't.
People driving Buicks though.
Buicks are a little better. When Tiger started advertising, where they got a little better. They got some nice Buicks out there. But man, like Shaq will just put his name on anything. So like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, hey, okay, Shaq's with them. I'm rolling. Shaq will sell like Nazi swastikas if you give him enough money for them. Let's be honest. Come on. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think
I don't agree.
He's a man of honor. He is a man of integrity. Yeah, he's gonna sell stuff because that's what he can't play basketball no more. He's a little too old.
And he can't commentate either because he's just sitting there half asleep.
Yeah, I wish he would get off the show, man. That dude,
he's trash on the show, man. That's why he needs to do this right here.
He's not even funny. He's not even funny.
No.
And people, they just keep putting him on there because he's a big dude, and so therefore everything he does is funny. Stop it.
Shaq is hilarious.
Don't get me started on Shaq.
Shaq is hilarious.
Well, you notice when for Ish, because I know you watch the college basketball. You notice every year they bring Barkley and Smith and EJ on the show, on the college show. And they bring him in, but you notice they don't bring Shaq on the college show. And there's a reason for that. They don't need him. He don't add no value. Anyway,
Shaq ain't gonna fit. And plus, did Shaq did he have some NCAA issues? I know he left after sophomore year. Okay,
I don't think so. No,
okay.
Other than being in Blue Chips, he was in Blue Chips with Penny, which was dope. Right. That's it.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm actually, like I said, I was kind of surprised, Ryan, because I know you were hard on Papa John's. I agree that they've done all they need to do. They got rid of Shaq. First they kicked him off the board or whatever, or first they fired him as a CEO. Then later they kicked him off the board. So now he has his stock in them still, so he's still getting money. But I mean, they've gotten rid of him as much as they can get rid of him. So I think the fact that you bring in a person like Shaq, you bring in a black person, you've done all these advertisements trying to say, like you said, trying to show that you're diverse and that you're sorry, and you even put him on the board of directors. So I think their sins are definitely atoned for. I haven't had Papa John's in a long time, but I'm not actively boycotting them. The tough thing
order some tonight?
No.
Order some tonight?
No, because I'm not.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Here's the thing right here is that, and this was the same thing with the NFL, which, like I said, I'm not boycotting them actively anymore. Cap got his bread. But when you boycott something, when you put people in that position where you're insensitive, you're racist, you're whatever, and people stop consuming whatever you got, whether it's a sport, whether it's food, like eventually you're like, oh, it's a lot of other stuff to eat out here besides Papa John's.
Right.
So I don't miss it. It's never been a time where I'm like, ooh, I want some pizza. Ooh, I should get Papa John's, but they were racist. Like, I just don't even think about it.
It's definitely not my number one go-to no more. That's true.
Yeah, so, Papa John's used to be my number one go-to. Now, I'm cool on them, but I might try them again. Not right now, not no time soon, but I'm gonna try it again eventually.
I've been rocking with emos lately, so Papa John's every once in a while.
Shout out to Jason Tatum.
Yep.
So so Papa John's, you're back in the loop.
Okay, well, we it seems like every single topic we've had this week has been like somewhat basketball related. Vegas, Ish missing dunks, Ryan over here, just being like Charles Oakley on his little tiny son out there in the backyard. But anyway, we're gonna do a story that this is my favorite sports story. We've had a depressing week. We went to Vegas. I lost some money. We had the Mueller report come out. Really, it was kind of a bit of a dud. Although there is some stuff to debate about there. We'll know more about that. But this story that came out over the last day or two really warmed my heart. Made me feel so good, especially for my hatred of Ryan and the Lakers, and especially one man, Mr. LeVar Ball. So over the weekend, news came out that the BBB brand. I don't know what BBB stands for. But
Big Baller Brand.
Big Baller Brand, that's right. So this trash, shoe line, clothing line that this family concocted, it basically found out it all fell apart this weekend. So it turns out that LeVar had hired a dude years ago to kind of, run this company. It was was also a co-owner of BBB. Turns out he was embezzling money from the family at least $1.5 million that was unaccounted for. If you read the article, there was like an accountant or some kind of accountant that the family had that was managing money, and noticed this money was missing, and in big bold letters in an email sent to him back like in August was to LeVar was saying there's $1.5 million. You need to ask these questions, all caps. That's what the email said. What did Mr. LeVar do? Sat on it for months and did not do a single thing. Did not even read the email. When he finally read the email, he had already.
Hey, if he didn't read it, it don't count.
He didn't read it, and then he fired, and then they let go of the dude that uncovered the fraud and tried to warn them about it. And then once they finally read it, then they rehired the dude, and then found out this other dude's stealing, and so it led to all this. And so basically, BBB. It sounds like BBB is toast. It sounds like BBB is no more. Sounds like LeVar is now openly fielding offers for shoe deals out there. And he should, because he needs money or needs more money. And so I just want to get what you guys feel about this, man. This has been a big debate in the chat group this morning, going so far as Ryan to call me a racist. He called me the Papa John's of the chat group because I don't love LeVar, and I want to know what's up with that.
Flat out racist.
Let's speak on it.
All right, speak on it.
Paul, you are flat out racist because every single time anything that LeVar Ball does, you immediately talk about how horrible he is. He's a horrible person. Look at what he's doing to his family. Oh, he's a terrible father. Look at his kids. Come on, man. He's not the devil. He ain't that bad. He's made some bad business moves. But you still have to respect what he's trying to do or what he tried to do. It just didn't work for him. That's all I was saying. Get off this man case. Stop trying to find every story. You've been hunting him down like CNN hunts down Trump stories. It's bad. It's bad out there. I'll be like, dude, like, how do you even know this story? Like, I got the little news bling on my phone, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, BBB going down. Okay, cool. And I swiped it off and kept going. You posted it immediately. Look at LeVar. Look at him. I'm glad he's falling apart. Oh, look at his family. Oh, they're bums.
When do I get a chance to say I'm right? I told you a year and a half ago this dude was a bum, and this is all gonna fail. Ish backed me up on this. We told you on this podcast this was gonna fail. This was not gonna work, and now here we are. I want to gloat.
All of us said that it
can a man not gloat? Can a brown man not gloat on this podcast?
Right, without being called racist.
That's right.
I'm so disappointed in you for playing the race card, trying to call Paul racist, for saying LeVar Ball sucks, which we all know. This is facts. I don't know why you are so intent on defending LeVar Ball. I respect what he's trying to do. But the problem with LeVar Ball, and he opens himself up for all this criticism because he's so cocky. Like, whenever you're that cocky, whenever you're that outlandish, you're inviting people to criticize you when it falls apart. So let's look at the things LeVar Ball has done. He took his kid out of high school and took him overseas because he said he was going to make him, he was going to get money and he was going to train him to be the best basketball player ever. What happened? He had to bring LaMelo back over, re-enroll him into high school. Didn't work out. He set up the Big Baller Brand for his son, trying to sell the shoes. now they're saying the shoes could have played a part in his ankle injuries, which is part of the reason he's getting rid of Big Baller Brand. So that's a problem.
And no telling how many people have still not have gotten their shoes from like 18 months ago. There's people
I said who got the shoes because I don't think anybody ever got those shoes, but I don't see anybody suing them either. So
because nobody bought them because everybody gave them the first round.
People did buy those shoes. So what happened to it?
They got them. They got their shoes. I've seen people with them. But just time after time again, LiAngelo, he didn't want him to go to the development league, and he wanted to take him overseas and do this other league. Now he's searching for anybody that'll
he's searching for sunglasses to steal in China. That's what he's searching for. That's all. Right. That's what he's doing. He ain't got nothing to do.
Everything LeVar Ball does is just coming crashing down. I think he has good ideas, but he just doesn't. They're not well thought out. He doesn't do his due diligence to make sure they can be successful. But the part why he's open for criticism is because he's so outlandish, so outrageous that people want to root against him. And so you got to take the good with the bad. You got all this fame because you're so outlandish, so you got you some earning opportunities, but that's also going to open you up for criticism and ridicule. And I told you so's from Box Wine Pop.
So what? Everything he did was the greatest entertainment that we had for that year. It was fun. That dude was on wrestling. He was on wrestling. He was on ESPN. He did a world tour. He was on the radio. He was funny, man. That's all it was. It's just entertainment. I don't hold it against these people. Who cares, man? Get your money. He did what he had to do to get his money, get his name out there. We know what Big Baller Brand is because he was being an idiot. Fine by me. He seemed like he raised some nice kids.
But now he has caused problems for Lonzo. Lonzo could have had legitimately probably $20 million off a Nike, just a standard rookie Nike deal, for 3, 4, 5 years, and maybe if he'd done well,
maybe.
he could have. But I think that's when we were talking about at the time. That was like kind of the average for a top NBA pick. Get a shoe deal. You probably could talk about $20 million for the first 3, 4, 5 years, and then after that we'll see what happens. Maybe you get a second deal. Maybe. But he did that. I mean, how much do you really think he made on this Big Baller Brand? He obviously lost at least $1.5 million. And from the article I read, it sounded like most of that money came from the Facebook show, which sounds popular. It doesn't sound like BBB has made all that much money. So he got nowhere near that, and now he's out there hunting for a shoe deal, and he hasn't had a good career so far. He's had 2 years of injuries pretty much. So the market value for him is way, way down. So you should have 100% taken that $20 million contract to begin with, right?
He's fine.
Or, I mean, if you're going to do it your way, which is fine, just make sure you do your due diligence. Hire the right people.
Yeah,
you hired
do a background check on the dude.
Arrested. I think he served 7 years for scamming somebody else.
Word. So and check your emails. If you're the dude that you're hiring to be your accountant is sending you emails with all caps to saying $1.5 million missing, open that email. Don't let that email go to junk for 6 months and be like,
This is my thought on that. It seemed like
Big Ballers don't check mail.
LeVar Ball is probably one of the dudes that sends all his emails in all caps. So it really didn't look different to him because everything in his sent box is all caps anyway.
You got a point there, Ish. That's facts, but still, man, check your email. Look, if the dude
Big Ballers don't check their email, man. You know it.
Well, hey,
Big Ballers don't check.
Have the mom check it, grandma. Somebody got to check it, man. This is gross negligence, man. I could not. This is just terrible, and this is unforced error after unforced error by LeVar. I'm sorry.
But real talk, I think this is the best thing that could have happened for Lonzo because I feel like all of this shoe stuff is too much for him right now. He should not have tried to launch these shoes so early. There was no reason to. Wait until you have some buzz. Now, I did say this from the beginning. Once you got some buzz and you want to go ahead and launch your own shoe, perfect timing to do it because people will go buy it. What? But you have not been able to play in enough straight games where you can even get a rhythm going.
Well, what's it going to matter? Because next year he's going to be on Charlotte hanging out with Batum, and nobody's going to care about him. Literally, that's what's going to be.
All right. All y'all said this about D'Angelo when I was talking about him too, and then what happened? Now he's an all-star.
But he went to he went to Brooklyn in a major media market. The odds are Lonzo's going to go to a small market.
It doesn't matter what market you go to if you balling, you balling.
if he can stay healthy to ball. He ain't done that. He ain't proved that yet.
All right. That's why I said it's the best thing could have happened for him. Get out of them cheap shoes. Because they just got some little kids in China designing his shoes.
His dad said
now he can get some real shoes.
LeVar said the reason he had the bum game in college against Kentucky is because he was injured. For rookie year in NBA, injured. Sophomore year in NBA, injured. I'm not saying he's one of the Porter kids in Mizzou, but he's pretty darn close. Come on now.
Knee and ankle injuries, man. Get out of them cheap shoes, man. Get you some real shoes. And then he'll probably have a whole summer to actually train. Last year, remember, he had a meniscus tear that the Lakers misdiagnosed. That's on them because their trainers are trash. But he's gonna have a chance, man. He just needs to settle down. Mm-hmm. Just think about basketball, play basketball, and quit worrying about all that extra stuff.
Well, hey, look, man,
a lot of that extra stuff was brought by LeVar Ball trying to get that attention. So I don't have an issue personally with LeVar. Just don't like the way where he makes himself the center of everything when really you should have put your kids in the forefront. But everything was done for LeVar, so now everything's kind of falling apart, and LeVar has to shoulder that blame. Let's keep it real.
Last shot in the game, championship on the line. Who you want taking the three-pointer? Rudy? Your boy Rudy, the old man, or you want LeVar with that? Lonzo with that trash jumper of his. Who you want, Ryan?
Lonzo.
Okay, you crazy.
Come on, man. You're not finna be out here picking Rudy. You're not gonna be picking Rudy to take a shot over an NBA player.
Sight unseen. I'm taking Rudy over Ben Simmons.
If the shot is from the baseline, I'm taking Rudy. Right. Anywhere else, I'm gonna take Lonzo because Rudy was money from the baseline.
I got a lot of assists off Rudy.
Look, Lonzo and Ben Simmons man, they're great passers, they're great players. They are trash shooters. I mean, it's amazing in this era of great shooting, amazing shooting, all 3-pointers. These two dudes are managing to thrive, and they cannot. Well, Lonzo really ain't thriving. Ben Simmons is. I can't say Lonzo's thriving yet, but I can't imagine they're just even in playing significant minutes, and they cannot shoot worth a damn. So yeah, work on your jumper, man. Just get back to me then.
Right.
Let's finish it up, man. Let's finish it strong. Ish, what you got, man, for the last story? We're going to get into politics.
So, a little political.
Let's do it.
A little political. So, we all know that a big mantra from the man in charge of the White House, the commander-in-chief, has been build the wall. And he's just put such an importance on building the wall. And why does he want to build a wall? Because we need to keep those pesky Mexicans out, right? We need to keep them out of here. There's too many coming over the border, and they're just assaulting our women and children, and they're bringing gangs and drugs and violence. So all we need to do is build a wall. And who's going to pay for it, Paul?
Me.
No, the answer is Mexico.
Oh, right.
Well, I find it very, very ironic when what actually happens, well, actually, it turned out to be true. Mexico is paying for the wall. Did you hear about this, Ryan?
I did not.
Yes. So they are building a wall, as you know. Trump is fighting for that. And Mexico is paying for it, but not in the traditional sense. So what has happened is they have gone down and started putting what do you call it? The barbed wire on top of fences at the U.S.-Mexico border. And it's this new barbed wire. It's from America. It's not Mexican barbed wire, but they're putting it all over these fences to discourage people from climbing over. Well, what has happened is you've got, I think this is actually U.S. people and Mexicans. They're going and they're cutting the barbed wire. They're going over to Mexico, and they're offering it to people who live on the border. They say, hey, you need some security for your house? I got this fresh barbed wire. This is that border wall barbed wire. I'm going to sell this to you for 40 pesos or 60 pesos or very, very low prices, equivalent to $2.10 in U.S. currency. Yeah, it is 40 pesos. And all these people who live near the U.S.-Mexico border got this fresh U.S. barbed wire on their fences around their house. So
Nice.
That's irony at its best. Mexico is paying for the wall, but not the way you expected. So, Ryan, you said you hadn't really heard about this. What are your thoughts?
It's a crazy story, man. Hey, some people will find a way to make some money off of anything. You know, maybe it'll become like a dang, I can't even think of the word now. I'm old. What's the word? Commemorative. Maybe it'll be like commemorative barbed wire. Maybe they can you know how they be doing like, oh, look at the bicentennial quarter. Like we'll look back and they'll have like, you know, look at this barbed wire. It once was on the wall before Trump really built it.
This barbed wire chewed my grandma's ass off when she tried to climb over here 13 years ago.
Well, we can use it. Maybe we can you know, melt it down and make necklaces or make money and put barbed wire on the back of quarters so that we can fund the wall somehow, some way.
Man, look, man, this is my take. This story it's slightly racist. It makes me sad, man. Like who? First of all, like what world we living in where people? I don't care if you live in Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua. I know there's some you know, it's unsafe times in some of these places. Has been for a long time. We got to get them to do better. But if you got to live in a house where you got to have barbed wire on your house, like that says something. That we need to do better as a people. Helping people out, that's what I'm for, man. Just like, yeah, you need to maybe you need to have bars in windows, but having barbed wire in a house, that's just like a little bit too far. And then B, look, man, you come to my house. Look, I don't care if I live in Mexico, right across the border. I'm dirt poor. You come to my house with a big like handful of barbed wire and expect me to buy it from you? Nah, man. What am I supposed to do with that? Like I'm gonna tear my hands all up, taking the barbed wire off your hands? Don't come in just with a big box of barbed wire. Like man, they just tear your hands all up. Nobody wants that. But
have you not seen industrial government barbed wire? It's probably way better than barbed wire you can get at Home Depot.
I have not been the market for barbed wire much lately. Hopefully, I never will have to be, but I don't know.
Well, it's a couple things. Number one is the people who were going around selling it, like they were selling it installed. So it's not even like, hey, give me this 40 pesos
even better,
and I'm going to give you this barbed wire. It's give me the 40 pesos. I'm going to put it up for you. So that takes that out the equation where you don't have to worry about it. But number two, if you go down to Mexico, you'll see that a lot of homes have either barbed wire or they have like kind of spiked fences. A lot of houses in Mexico, they have really high walls. So security really is at a premium down there. People really need to secure their homes. Just whenever you go, I've been to Mexico City, Cuernavaca, and some other towns down there, and you see a lot of barbed wire in use, or if not barbed wire type of security fencing. So it's surprising to me that the U.S. didn't even think this was a possibility because, they need that barbed wire. They want the barbed wire. So I wasn't shocked. I was just amused by the fact that these folks are just jacking that barbed wire and putting it to good use. So go ahead and build that wall, and we might see that wall in somebody's front yard.
Yeah, hey man, it's just how it's going, man. It's crazy. These people are just, but hey man, people aren't, man. People, it's just amazing. Like people, they'll find something find something useful. Like, man, you ever hear about like people like stealing like lead, or getting up underneath the car and stealing your catalytic converter for like the metals in it or something?
Or at the church that they steal all the metal from the gutters and go take it to the recycle place.
Like little scrappers do that and stuff like that. Or they clear out vacant houses and just take all the metal piping, like just
all the copper.
Yeah, like people are ingenious. I wouldn't say ingenious. People are diabolical, man. They'll figure something out. They'll make something out of nothing. That's for sure. Yeah. That's just how we're wired. It's just how it is, man.
Well, and all that comes when you're talking about when you don't have good jobs or when people don't have good earning opportunities. Like you said, people creative. You're gonna find a way to feed your family. So, idealistically, it's gonna be in a legal way where you can go to work and earn this money. But if you don't have that opportunity, people gonna figure out illegal ways. And so in this situation, I'm not tripping off of it because who's really hurt by this? It's not like
the taxpayer, Ishmael. The taxpayer.
I'm a taxpayer and I'm okay with it. So you have my blessing to steal the barbed wire from the wall.
Liberal. That's what you are. You're a big fat liberal.
All right, there, Rush Limbaugh. All right, man.
All right, so y'all got a bonus 13 minutes of the podcast tonight. So Ishmael, can you tell the people where they can find us or how they can get in contact with us to tell us how great this podcast was?
Yo, you can email us. Let us know. Are you okay with the barbed wire? Would you steal the barbed wire? You can email us at theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. If you want to hit us up on social media, you can follow us on Facebook. I always post the full episode on Facebook at the Black Delegates Podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at Black Delegates. There's an underscore between Black and Delegates. You want to follow Ryan on Twitter, he is at the Black Ryan. Boxed Wine Poppy is at Boxed Wine Poppy on Twitter. I am at Ish Creates. That's ISH Creates on Twitter and Instagram. Paul, if people want to help out the podcast, if they want to help us to grow and to continue to put out good quality episodes about border walls and
BBB,
Papa Shack, and fantastic adventures of harassing little kids on YouTube, what can they do?
Hey man, yeah, go out there and tell a friend. Just enjoy the podcast. Tell a friend that you like it, and we'll just grow this virally. If you can't do that, rate us and review us out there on whatever service you're using to listen to your podcast at. And on top of that, hey, I just went out to Vegas. I spent a lot of money. I had to pay my taxes here recently. Don't forget to go ahead and cash at me. You can just cash at me directly. Don't worry about Ish and Ryan. Just cash at me directly.
Cash at him at the Black Ryan. TheBlackRyan, the Black Ryan. That's my cash app. Hit me up if you want to donate to the show. You can get Paul some WD-40 for a squeaky chair. You can donate to get Ishmael Band-Aids for his many injuries from hooping. You could. Oh my God! You could donate money if you want Ishmael to stop making that sound during the podcast.
We keep it.
We'll take donations for that as well. All right. So.
All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll check you out next week.
Peace.
Oh my God! Every time it's just worse. Okay, stop.